You are 35 years old. You have $1.8 billion. Nobody knows. You grew up with nothing. Your parents worked 2 jobs each. Nobody in your family has ever had more than $20,000 saved at once. This is the story of how you got here.
Rewind 14 years. You are 21. You have $43 in your bank account. You go to a state school on a Pell Grant and a partial scholarship. Your parents scraped together $600 for your first semester. They cried when they handed it to you. You study economics, not because you love it, because it feels like the closest thing to an answer to a question you have been carrying your whole life. That question is simple. Why does everyone you love have so little? After graduation, you get a job, a real job, $38,000 a year, entry-level financial analyst at a mid-size firm downtown. You move into a studio apartment, $480 a month. You share a wall with a couple who argue every weekend. You eat pasta 4 nights a week. At work, your colleagues talk about their weekends, bottle service, new sneakers, a trip they charge to a credit card they cannot pay off. You smile and nod. You say nothing. You go home. You sit at your tiny desk. You open your laptop. And you do something unusual for a 22-year-old. You read about money. Not how to spend it, how to make it multiply. You are not smart in the way people mean when they say smart. You did not graduate top of your class. You do not have connections. You do not have a trust fund. You have something else. Then, one night, something changes. Not a moment of lightning, not a mentor pulling you aside. Nothing cinematic. Just a book. You read it in 4 days. You do not sleep much during those 4 days. Something shifts inside you. Not greed, clarity. The book does not teach you a trick. It teaches you a truth. One sentence lands differently than all the others. The snowball just needs a long enough hill. You understand immediately. Wealth is not about earning more. Wealth is about time in the market, about patience so deep it becomes almost spiritual, about starting now, even with nothing. You make a decision, a quiet one. No announcement, no social media post. You decide to live differently from everyone around you, starting immediately. Rule 1. Live on 50% of everything you earn. Always. No exceptions. Not when you get a raise, not when you feel like you deserve it. Rule 2. Invest the other 50%. Consistently. Every single month. Into index funds, into real assets, into things that compound while you sleep. Rule 3. Tell nobody. Not your parents, not your friends, not your coworkers. Silence is the strategy. You open a brokerage account that night. You transfer $500. It is almost everything you have. The hill is long. The snowball is small. You push anyway. Year 1. You are 22. You invest $700 a month. Your portfolio ends the year at just over $8,000. It does not feel like anything. You say nothing. At work, you get a small raise, $42,000 a year now. Your coworkers celebrate by buying new things. You increase your monthly investment. Nobody notices. Nobody knows. Year 2. You discover something. You have been wasting money on things that do not serve you. A car payment, a gym membership you do not use, subscriptions you forgot about. You cut them. All of them. You take the money you free up and you redirect it. Every dollar without a purpose becomes an investment. Every dollar invested is a small soldier working while you sleep. You like thinking of it that way. Year 3. Your portfolio crosses $25,000. It is the most money anyone in your family has ever had in an investment account. You do not tell them. They would not understand yet. You say nothing. Meanwhile, the world around you does what it always does. It performs. A college friend buys a BMW on credit. He posts it everywhere. 47 comments. You double tap and scroll past. Year 4. You get a significant promotion. $68,000 a year. Senior analyst. Your boss takes you to lunch to celebrate. You order the same thing you always order. The chicken sandwich and a water. You say nothing about the money. You go home that evening. You open your laptop. You increase your monthly investment to $2,000. And then you make a new decision. You start reading about something different. Private equity. Startup investing. Things most people at your income level never consider. Year 5. Your index fund portfolio is at $90,000. But you have also made your first angel investment. A small software company. $3,000. It feels like gambling. You do it anyway. Nobody knows. Year 6. The software company gets acquired. Your $3,000 becomes $41,000 in 14 months. You sit with this information for a long moment. You tell no one. You reinvest every dollar. You learn something that year. The real game is not your salary. It was never your salary. The real game is what your money does when you are not looking. You commit to playing that game for as long as it takes. Year 7, year 8, you invest in 2 more startups. One fails completely. You lose $12,000. You do not spiral. You do not complain. You log the lesson and you move forward. By year 9, your total invested assets cross $500,000. $500,000! Built in complete silence. Nobody at work knows. Your family still thinks you were just getting by. You say nothing. You go home for Thanksgiving that year. Your father asks if you need any money. He is serious. He means it with love. You say, no thank you. You help him fix the gutters on the house. And you say nothing. Year 10. A second startup exits. A healthcare data company you invested $40,000 in. It sells for a number that changes your trajectory permanently. Your return? $6.2 million. You sit in that apartment for a long time. You do not call anyone. You do not open a bottle of anything. You just sit there. You and the number. Alone. The next morning, you go to work. You buy a coffee from the cart downstairs. You sit at your desk. Nobody knows. But money on this scale creates pressure, even when no one knows about it. You feel it. A quiet pull toward the surface, like something inside you wants to be seen, wants to be acknowledged. Year 11. Your portfolio, between index funds, startup returns, and reinvestment, passes $40 million. $40 million. You are 33 years old. You are still employed. You are still silent. A former college friend reaches out. He has started a real estate company. He is loud about it. He invites you to his office for lunch. The office has a glass wall and his name on it in gold letters. You go. You eat the free food. The friend talks about his revenue, his team, his brand. He slides a deck across the table. He wants you to invest with him. $500,000. We'll be partners, he says. I'll put your name on it. You flip through the deck politely. You ask a few questions. Quiet ones. The numbers do not hold up. The margins are thin. The leverage is high. The brand is the entire strategy. You pass. Quietly. The next test is harder. Your mother calls. She has heard through someone at church that you are doing well at your job. She is proud. She mentions the roof on the house needs to be replaced. She is not asking. She is just talking. You think about what to do for a long time. You do not want to reveal the number. Not yet. Not until you are certain. Not until it is permanent. Not until it cannot be taken away.
You call a contractor anonymously through a property management firm. You pay for the roof. Your mother calls you 2 weeks later, confused about who sent the check. You tell her it must have been a mix-up. You say nothing.
Year 13. A company you backed 3 years earlier, a logistics technology startup, gets acquired by a global firm. You invested $200,000. Your return? $1.6 billion. You put the phone face down on the table. You eat your lunch. You tip generously. You drive home in your 2019 Honda Accord. Nobody in the parking lot knows. Nobody knows anything. Within 60 days, you have restructured everything through your attorney and financial team. You are 34 years old. Your total net worth is $1.8 billion. Built across 13 years, in complete silence. You are 35 years old now. And it is time. Not a dramatic time, not a speech, just time. You walk into your manager's office, a man who once told you that you were not a leader, that you were too quiet, that you needed to be more visible. You set the envelope on his desk. He opens it. He looks at you. You simply nod. You ride the elevator down. You walk out through the lobby. The security guard, Marcus, who you have greeted every morning for 11 years, says, "Have a good one." You say, "You too, Marcus." You mean it. You walk out through the glass doors. The next morning is the first morning of your life that belongs entirely to you. You wake up at 7:15, not because an alarm rang, because you are rested. You make coffee. You sit by the window. There is no one clapping. There is no celebration. There is no announcement. There is no moment. There is just the morning, and the coffee, and the silence. And that is exactly how you want it. Most people will never understand this story, not because it is complicated, but because it contradicts everything they have been told. They were told wealth looks like something: a car, a watch, a vacation posted somewhere, an announcement, a visible life. You were told that too. You just chose not to believe it. The truth about money at this level is that it does not change who you are. It reveals who you already were. All those years of saying nothing, you were not suppressing yourself. You were becoming yourself. The silence was never about hiding. It was about protecting the process. The moment you announce the mission, you invite the noise. And the noise is the only thing that can stop you. Your family does not know yet. They will, when the time is right, when you have set up the structures that protect them too, not just from poverty, from the noise. You are the first. You will not be the last. If nobody else is going to do it, you will. Nobody knows. And that is everything. If this story stayed with you longer than you expected, there are more like it on this channel. No noise, no performance, just the quiet stories that most people are living in complete silence.